that stubborn film on your shower glass?
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe those frustrating spots that show up on your dishes, even when they're clean.
Or just worrying about your water heater maybe breaking down sooner than it should.
Exactly. That quiet worry about mineral buildup inside your appliances. If you've dealt with hard water, well, you know the headache we're talking about.
Sale, yeah.
It's this pervasive problem, isn't it? Often you don't really see it until it's already costing you time or money or just sanity.
It truly is. And often by the time you notice those signs, the efficiency of your systems, it might already be going down.
Right.
And the lifespan of those really critical home investments,
Right.
it's definitely at risk.
That's the key point, yeah. Because when you see the problem, it's often already had a pretty big impact. So today, let's dive into something that promises to be a proactive solution and an eco-friendly one too. The KNC ScaleGuard System.
Sounds interesting.
Our mission today is really to unpack this next generation water conditioning product. We've looked through the detailed product info, the tech specs.
We even did a head-to-head comparison with some other systems out there.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to understand not just what it claims to do, but, how its specific technology works. What benefits does it really deliver?
And crucially, how does it stack up against the alternatives?
Right. So you can be genuinely well-informed.
And what's really interesting here, I think, is we're looking beyond just the surface claims.
Yeah.
We're digging into the actual mechanisms and the verified performance data.
Okay, let's start unpacking it then. The KNC ScaleGuard system, it's pitched as this next-gen water conditioner.
Right.
Its core promise, basically a proactive, eco-friendly fix for hard water scale.
And what catches your eye right away?
Well, the big things are, it's salt-free, chemical-free, and they say it's virtually maintenance-free.
Okay.
And crucially, unlike, the traditional water softeners, it doesn't strip out those beneficial minerals from your water like calcium and magnesium.
That's a really significant difference from the older tech, isn't it? Those fundamentally change your water's chemistry.
Yeah.
This system seems to tackle the problem from a totally different angle.
Okay, so let's get into that angle. The real innovation here seems to be its core technology. The heart of the KNC ScaleGuard system is its Template Assisted Crystallization media, or TAC for short.
Right, TAC.
So how does it actually change the hard water without taking the minerals out? What's happening down at that microscopic level?
It's actually pretty cool science.
Yep.
So the system has these special polymeric beads inside.
Okay.
And you can imagine these beads having these incredibly precise, atomic level spots on their surface. They call them template sites.
Template sites, got it.
So as the hard water flows through the tank full of dissolved calcium and magnesium ions, right?
Yeah.
Those ions are naturally attracted to these specific template sites.
Okay, so they latch on.
Think of the template sites like catalysts, or maybe like tiny little starting blocks. They cause the calcium and magnesium ions to very quickly form these microscopic inert crystals.
Inert crystals, so they're not sticky anymore.
Exactly. Once these microcrystals are formed, they're stable. And here's the really clever part. They're then released straight back into the water flow. They don't stay stuck to the beads.
Ah, okay. So the result is the minerals are still in the water, but they're now in this crystal form.
Right.
Which means they just stay suspended. They flow harmlessly through your pipes.
Precisely. They can't stick to surfaces anymore. So you effectively prevent that hard scale from building up inside your pipes, on your heating elements, your faucets, all that.
And you mentioned something else too. It doesn't just prevent new scale.
Right. That's another fascinating aspect. This process over time can actually help to gently dissolve existing scale buildup too.
Wow. So it's not just preventative. It could actually help reverse some existing problems.
It seems so. Yeah. It's curative in that sense too.
So just stepping back, the key difference here is huge. It's not stripping your water.
No.
It's changing the form of the minerals so they're no longer a problem, but you keep the natural mineral content.
Exactly. Preserving what's naturally there, just making it harmless in terms of scale.
Okay, the science is making sense, but let's talk practicalities. For someone listening, thinking about their own house, what are the most sort of tangible benefits they'd actually see? Why should you, the homeowner, really care about this?
Well, I think the real aha moment, maybe with something like ScaleGuard, is that shift in thinking.
Yeah.
You go from constantly reacting to hard water damage, endless cleaning, fixing things, replacing appliances,
right,
to proactive prevention. It just stops that mineral buildup before it starts.
Which
means
one's bad.
It dramatically extends the life and the efficiency of your expensive appliances. Think water heaters, dishwashers, even your coffee maker.
Protects your investments.
Exactly. It's about protecting those investments and hopefully saving you from those surprise replacement costs down the line.
Okay, that's a big one. What else? You mentioned salt-free and chemical-free.
Yeah, that's huge for people concerned about what they're consuming or, just putting into their bodies. This system adds 0 sodium, 0 chemicals to your water. That's a massive plus if you're on a low sodium diet, or frankly, if you just prefer to avoid any unnecessary additives.
And connected to that, you keep the good stuff.
You keep the healthy minerals.
Yeah.
If you actually value the calcium and magnesium that's naturally in your water and they're beneficial, this system preserves them.
So you get the mineral benefits without the scale drawbacks.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Unlike traditional softeners, which strip them out.
And you also mentioned eco-friendly. How so?
Well, this is where it really shines as a green choice. First off, it uses absolutely no electricity.
Okay, 0 power consumption.
Right. Second, it requires no backwashing cycle. You know how traditional softeners have to periodically flush themselves out with salt brine?
Yeah, waste a lot of water.
A lot of water, and dumps salt into the wastewater system. This system. 0 wasted water, 0 salt discharge. That makes it genuinely sustainable.
And I guess that means it complies with water softener bans too. Some places have those.
Exactly. It's compliant in those regions because it doesn't have that salt discharge issue.
Okay. And day-to-day living, maintenance.
That's another big selling point. It's pitched as virtually maintenance-free. You don't have those heavy, awkward bags of salt to buy, lug around and pour in every month or so.
Right. No salt schlepping.
None of that.
Right.
The tack media itself is remarkably long-lasting. They estimate a life expectancy of about 3 to 5 years.
Depending on water use and quality, I assume.
Yeah, exactly. Depends on how much water you use and what your incoming water is like.
Yeah.
But still, that's years between changes.
And installation. Is it complicated?
Compared to some systems, it seems quite straightforward. It's usually a compact tank. Crucially, it needs no drain line hookup because there's no backwashing and no electrical outlet needed. That can make the installation process less invasive, potentially simpler, maybe cheaper too.
Okay. And you mentioned verification earlier. Is there proof this actually works as well as claimed?
Yeah, and this is important for, peace of mind. The tack technology itself has been rigorously tested by third parties.
Like who?
Well, the key one often cited is a study from Arizona State University. They independently confirmed that this type of technology is over 90% effective at preventing scale buildup.
Over 90%. That's impressive.
It is, and having that independent third-party verification is pretty crucial when you're evaluating these kinds of claims.
Definitely. Now, you probably wouldn't install this yourself, right? It's usually a professional job.
Typically, yes.
But understanding a few technical points might still be helpful, just for awareness. Like, where does it go?
Right. Placement is key. It generally needs to be installed as the last stage in your water treatment chain if you have other filters. And definitely before the water heater and any other appliances you want to protect from scale. That's critical.
And what about the water going into it? Does it need specific conditions?
Good question. While the system is robust, that tack media is a bit sensitive to certain things. Think of it like a high-performance engine that runs best on clean fuel.
Okay.
So if your water happens to have unusually high levels of chlorine or things like iron, manganese, copper.
Stuff that might foul the media.
Exactly. Or if there are polyphosphates from municipal treatment sometimes, or oils, those things ideally need to be filtered out before the water hits the ScaleGuard. A simple pre-filter often does the trick.
So it's about setting it up for success based on your specific water quality.
Precisely. Tailoring the setup to your home's conditions ensures it works at peak effectiveness for that full 3 to 5 year lifespan.
Gotcha. And other operating conditions. Anything else to know?
Just the basics, really. It operates in what they call an upflow mode, so water flows upwards through the media. Needs to be installed vertically. Works within a standard water pH range, usually 6.5 to 8.5. Max temperature is typically around 110 Fahrenheit, that's 43 Celsius, and standard water pressure between, say, 15 and 80 psi. Nothing too unusual there.
And the only maintenance then is really just swapping out that tack media every few years.
That's basically it. Replacing the media cartridge every 3 to 5 years. No salt, no regular fiddling.
Okay. So considering all these benefits, the tech details, Who really benefits most from this? Like if you break it down by different priorities people might have.
That's a good way to look at it. For the, let's say, the cost-conscious customer,
Yeah.
okay, the initial purchase price might be a bit higher than maybe a basic softener or some other options,
Right.
but it saves quite a bit of money over time. You eliminate the ongoing cost of salt completely.
Which can add up.
It really can. Plus, by keeping your water heater element clean, it runs more efficiently, potentially lowering your energy bills.
Efficiency savings.
And of course, extending the life of expensive appliances means fewer replacement costs. So you look at the total cost of ownership, and it often comes out ahead. It's an investment that can definitely pay for itself.
Makes sense. What about the eco-conscious person?
Well, for them, this is arguably the green choice in water conditioning.
Because.
No salt being discharged into the environment, no chemicals added, no electricity used, and maybe most importantly, absolutely zero water wasted from backwashing cycles. It ticks all the eco-friendly boxes.
Okay. And health conscious.
Well, as we covered, it doesn't remove those healthy minerals like calcium and magnesium.
Right.
And crucially, it adds absolutely no sodium to your diet through your drinking water. So yeah, big check mark for health awareness too.
So if you compare it head to head with a traditional salt-based softener, what's the quick takeaway?
The traditional softener works by removing the hard minerals, but it adds salt in the process. It needs constant salt replenishment, uses electricity, and wastes significant water during regeneration. The ScaleGuard, on the other hand, conditions the water by changing the mineral structure, doesn't add salt, uses no power, wastes no water, and needs almost no effort from you once it's installed. Besides that media change every few years, it feels like a smarter, more modern approach.
And just to circle back to that visible problem, the spots and film.
Right. If you're seeing spots on your dishes, that film on the shower door, that is scale buildup.
Yeah.
The ScaleGuard system is designed specifically to prevent that from happening in the first place. And like we said, that potential bonus of helping to reduce existing buildup over time is pretty appealing too.
Okay, that's a really clear picture of the ScaleGuard itself. But you know, when people start looking for salt-free options, they often come across another type of product, those electronic or magnetic descalers.
Yes. The electronic ones.
Yeah.
That's a really important comparison to make.
How does the ScaleGuard, with its AOS technology, truly stack up against those devices? Because the claims can sometimes sound similar, right? No salt, less scale.
They can sound similar on the surface, but the underlying technology and, critically, the proof of effectiveness are vastly different.
Okay, break it down. How do they work differently?
So ScaleGuard, as we've discussed, uses Template Assisted Crystallization tack. It's a physical process. Water flows through a specific media.
Those polymeric beads with template sites?
Right. And that media causes the minerals to physically change form into stable, harmless microcrystals that won't stick. It's a direct physical interaction.
Okay. And the electronic descalers?
They typically work by wrapping a wire or device around your main water pipe and plugging it into an electrical outlet.
Right, I've seen those.
They claim to generate an electronic or electromagnetic field. The theory they propose is that this field alters the electrical charge of the mineral ions flowing through the pipe.
Alters the charge. To do what?
The claim is that by altering the charge, it forces the minerals to clump together in the water or somehow prevents them from being able to adhere to surfaces later on. It's an indirect field-based approach.
Okay, different mechanisms entirely. Physical contact versus an electronic field.
Exactly.
So, the big question, effectiveness and the proof behind it.
This is really where the difference becomes stark. ScaleGuard's tack technology, as we mentioned, has that independent third-party verification. Studies like the Arizona State, one show over 90% effectiveness in preventing scale under controlled conditions.
Consistent, reliable, proven results.
Yes. The effect is measurable and consistent. Now, electronic descalers, that's a much murkier picture.
How so?
They are, frankly, quite controversial in the water treatment industry. Scientific consensus on their effectiveness is, well, highly debated.
So no clear proof.
There are many studies out there, but the results are often inconsistent. Some show little to no measurable effect on scale formation. Others might show some effect, but it often varies wildly depending on factors like the water flow rate, the specific water chemistry, pipe material.
Seems less reliable then.
It's much less predictable. There isn't the same level of robust, independent scientific validation that you see with tack technology.
Okay, that's a critical difference. What about installation and maintenance?
ScaleGuard is that tank system.
Yeah.
Goes in the main line, no electricity needed, no drain. The main maintenance is just replacing the media every 3 to 5 years, which is predictable.
Right.
Electronic descalers are usually quite small. They just clamp or wrap around a pipe. They do need an electrical outlet nearby to power them.
Okay.
And they're often marketed as completely set it and forget it, install it, plug it in, and supposedly you're done. Virtually zero maintenance claimed.
Which sounds appealing, of course.
It does sound convenient, absolutely. But the convenience doesn't mean much if the core effectiveness is questionable or unproven.
So the bottom line, comparing the two salt-free approaches.
The big picture takeaway really is, while those electric descalers are often marketed heavily on convenience and being maintenance-free, their actual effectiveness isn't reliably proven by strong independent science. The KNC ScaleGuard system, using that TAC technology, relies on a tested, verified mechanism. You can have much more confidence in its performance because of that scientific validation.
And that predictable media replacement cycle, while it is a task, actually ensures the system continues to work optimally.
Exactly. You know it's working.
Right.
So really that distinction between a scientifically validated mechanism like TAC and, let's say, less proven or inconsistent claims from some electronic devices.
Yeah.
It's pretty crucial if you want to make a truly informed decision for your home.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's recap. We've really taken a deep dive into the KNC ScaleGuard system today. We've explored its innovative TAC technology, looked at that whole array of benefits, practical, eco-friendly.
And maybe most importantly, how its scientifically proven effectiveness really sets it apart, especially from other salt-free alternatives like those electronic descalers we just discussed.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, trying to navigate these choices for your home?
Well, hopefully, understanding the science that's actually behind a solution like the KNC ScaleGuard and knowing about the independent verification, that can really empower you, can it, to make more informed decisions about protecting your home, your appliances, maybe even your health.
It's about looking past just the marketing claims, isn't it? Asking, okay, but how does it really work? And where's the proof?
Precisely. Critical thinking applied to a common household problem.
Which leads to maybe a final thought to leave people with.
Okay.
In a world that's just overflowing with quick fixes, appealing promises for all sorts of things, how can we apply this same kind of critical inquiry, this deep dive approach, to other areas of our lives?
That's interesting.
What other everyday problems maybe have more nuanced solutions hidden beneath the surface? Solutions where we need to uncover the real science or the actual evidence behind the claim.
Yeah, looking beyond the easy answer.
Something to mull over, perhaps, as you navigate your own pursuit of being genuinely well-informed.